Hello, I'm Ashley, the engineer at Andover Norton, and one of the things that keeps cropping up since we've introduced them is why do we need a push rod that is 1 mil or roughly 40 thou shorter than original. Now, we all know what original was. Shame Norton back in the day, I don't think they really knew what the original was. The reason being is the heads and the actual valves changed numerous times throughout the life of the Commando, but the original length stayed the same. Now, we've got the drawings here for most of the RH heads. I think we have them all. The drawing here is an RH10 head that I've just picked off the system. Now, one of the things being that makes me think that the 40 thou shorter push rod is most probably a very good bet is the fact that through the life of the Commando, in the early days, the length of the valve stem grew by about 40 thou. Likewise, the head, from where they skim this face to where they mount the rockers, also changed. Strangely, back in the day, they must have got the wonky calculator out the drawer, because what actually they did back on some of the heads was, for the high compression head, they machined this face and deducted 20 thou from the height to the face. Surely if you take the height off there, you need to increase the height that way, not that way. The RH2 and the RH6 head are the worst culprits, I do believe, for that. Now then, to the cylinder heads, people turn around, they naturally assume there's a standard compression and then there's the combat compression. There are actually some others. There's a low compression head and there's also another high compression head, which is actually halfway between the standard and what the combat would have been machined at this face. Why they've done that, we don't really know. We think the low compression head was so they could sell it into foreign markets where the fuel quality was not so great. But realistically, it wouldn't have made much of a difference because we're only talking 20 thou. The worst one is the combat, which is about 40 thou. And then throughout the rest of the life of the heads, the RH4s, the RH10s, it all sort of stayed the same. Now, the reason I say this shorter push rod is most probably a good bet is because the fact it allows the rocker to sit back a little bit further onto the rod, allowing you to extend the actual adjuster out further. I know from the people that ring up, sometimes when they fit the mushroom adjusters, they've got no room to get it further into the rocker to get any clearance on the valve tip. Some heads they can, some they can't. That would suggest to me that they need a shorter push rod. And likewise, if you've got a standard valve adjuster in your rocker, fitting the shorter one may allow it to extend further and sit further over the tip of the valve and then give you more scope when you're setting up, and it is actually rocking across and rolling across the top of the valve stem tip, that it's going to do that in a better position than right near the edge like you'd normally see on an engine that you've dismantled. You normally see where the valve adjuster runs on the valve tip is quite close to one edge on occasion. That concludes the chat today. If you've got any other questions, please feel free to get in touch. Thank you very much.